Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be showing you all the best features of the Redmi 9A. By the way, I've already posted a dedicated video for the tips and tricks section where I've talked about many things which I won't be covering in this video. So definitely check out that video, link will be in the description. Now with that said, the most highlighting feature about this phone is definitely its bigger battery. This phone packs a 5020 mAh battery and it can easily last you for 2 days for a normal user. Next best thing about this phone would be its display. This phone sports a 6.53-inch TFT IPS display with HD Plus resolution with a dot notch with 270 nits of brightness. Because of the bigger screen, it's great for regular usage and especially for media consumption. Next, this phone also packs in some decent performance. It sports a MediaTek Helio G25 processor with GE8320 GPU with up to 3GB of RAM and 32GB of storage. These are the benchmark scores. Even though the performance is a bit lacking when it comes to gaming, for regular usage, it's not going to be a problem. Next, this phone also packs in some decent cameras. On the rear, this phone has a 13MP primary camera with f2.2 aperture, and for selfies, it has a 5MP camera. These are some sample shots. Going on next, we have a new feature on this phone that allows us to hide applications on this phone. Well, this feature works only for the default launcher, and if you try to install any third-party launcher, it won't work. All the hidden applications will be visible. But as long as you're using the default home launcher and no one is exactly searching for those apps, you can hide them very well. Going on next, we can also hide this dot notch at the top. Once you enable this feature, your phone will put a black bar on either side of the notch and brings down the display a bit. Now you won't be able to see the notch in your regular usage. Going on next, we have a brand new control center, just like the iOS, and once you enable this feature, you can swipe from the left side of the screen for notifications and swipe from the right side for all the notification toggles. Going on next, we have App Vault. Now it might sound like an app lock feature, but in fact it's pretty similar to Google home screen with all different widgets. Once you enable this feature, you can find an extra home page on your home screen with multiple widgets, quick shortcuts, notes, stock prices, and so on. Next, this phone also comes with a regular face unlock feature. Even though it's not super fast, it is usable in good lighting conditions and barely works in low lighting conditions. Overall, it works, but it's not that reliable. Next, I'm going to show you some important MIUI 11 related features. First, we have different notification styles. From here, you can choose between Android style or MIUI styles, and there is definitely a pretty significant difference between the notification styles of stock Android and MIUI. Next, we have dynamic alarms. Now, this is a brand new feature in MIUI 11 that gives you dynamic alarm tones depending upon the time of the day. So, if you have an alarm in the morning, you get a different tone. If you have it in the evening, you get a different tone. So, that's the new dynamic alarm feature, and we also get a lot of new natural sounds. Next, we have video wallpapers. Now, using this feature, you can set up a video as your lock screen wallpaper or a home screen wallpaper. Here's a quick preview. Next, we have digital well-being. Now, this is a feature from Google which literally tracks all your usage, analyzes it, and gives you a complete report. Using this feature, you can track your usage, and if you want, you can also put restrictions upon yourself. Like, if you don't want to use YouTube for more than 15 minutes a day, you can put such restrictions using this feature. Next, we have wind down. This is another feature from Google which is part of digital well-being. This feature will allow you to automatically enable do not disturb mode and grayscale mode at a specific time on any given day. This feature is more like a gentle reminder to go to sleep early. Next, it has AI mode for the rear camera. Just like most of the phones these days, even this phone comes with a dedicated AI mode for the rear camera, and it can automatically detect the scene and enhance some things about the image. Next, it offers portrait mode for both the front and rear cameras. Now, this is like the most common feature we find in almost all the phones these days, and even this phone offers that. Now, these are some sample pictures. Now, going on next, this phone even offers electronic image stabilization. Now, by default, it's always turned on, and because of electronic image stabilization, some part of the sensor is cropped and you get a cropped footage. For some reason, if you don't want stabilization and want a much wider footage, you can always disable it from the settings. This is the sample footage. Now going on next, we have the famous full screen gestures. Personally, this is my favorite implementation and probably the best implementation for full screen gestures on Android. Now for a quick preview, once you enable this feature, you can swipe from the bottom of the screen to go home, swipe and hold for recent taps, swipe from the left side or right side to go back. This is really an awesome feature and I miss it on almost all the phones. Now going on next, we have Quick Ball. You want to use your phone single-handedly? Then this is a great solution for you. Once you enable this feature, a floating bubble will pop up. You can use it in two ways. You can either tap and select the option, or else we can swipe. Personally, I like to go with swipe option with navigation keys. Once everything is properly set up, you can simply swipe on the floating bubble to go back, go home, or even open recent taps page. Now going on next, we have some handy gestures. First, we have the double tap to wake. Now this one is pretty simple. Just enable this feature and double tap your screen to wake it up. If you are using face unlock on this phone, then you can simply double tap your phone wakes up, sees your face, and immediately unlocks the phone. You don't even have to use the fingerprint scanner. It is super convenient. Next we have raise to wake. Now this is another super useful feature. Once you enable this feature, every time you raise your phone, your display lights up and shows you the lock screen. Once again, if you have enabled face unlock feature, it wakes up, sees your face, and immediately unlocks the phone. So this feature in combination with face unlock works just like the latest iPhones. Now going on next, we have two super shortcuts to quickly open the camera application. First way is to open the camera application by pressing the power button twice. This particular shortcut works anywhere and anytime. Just enable it from additional settings, and every time you press the power button twice, camera application will pop up almost immediately. Most of the time it works. Another way to open camera application is from the lock screen. Now once you enable this feature from lock screen settings, on your lock screen, you can press the volume down button twice to quickly open the camera application. Well, that's a feature and it works, but personally, I still like to use the power button. Now going on next, we have 3-finger screenshot. Now before I show you that feature, let me show you how to take a regular screenshot. On this phone or any other phone out there, especially Android phones, if you want to take a screenshot, press the volume down and power button both at the same time. Once you do that, your phone will take a screenshot. For some reason, if that's a bit difficult for you, you can always use the notification toggle. Now coming back to 3-finger screenshot, once you enable this feature, you can simply swipe down using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. This is personally my favorite way to take a screenshot. Next we have long screenshot. Now to take a long screenshot on this phone, first we need to take a regular screenshot. We can either use the buttons, notification toggle or the gesture. And once you have taken a picture, you will get a preview at the top right corner of the screen. Just click that and then click scroll. Your phone will scroll the current application automatically and then take a long screenshot. If you want to stop in between, you can always click the done button and it will take a long screenshot up to that point. You can find those long screenshots along with your regular screenshots. Next we have a shortcut to turn on the torch. Now there are many ways to turn it on, but personally I like to long press the back button to turn on the torch. This is how you do it, and once you're done, you can press and hold the back button anywhere, anytime. That's when your phone is unlocked to turn on the torch. Now that's definitely a very convenient way to turn on the torch, and once you're done doing it again, it'll turn it off. Next we have reading mode. On many other phones it's also called as night mode, and once you enable this feature, it puts a warm tint on the screen and filters the blue light. According to research, blue light emitted by our displays at night will affect our sleep, so using this feature will prevent that. We can also change the intensity of the warm tint. We can also schedule it to turn on and turn off at a specific time or at sunrise and sunset. Now going on next, we also have the option to record calls automatically on this phone. Now this feature is definitely available in India, but I don't know about other places. And if you want to activate it, you need to open the phone dialer, go to settings, then select call recording and turn it on. You can either record all the calls or few specific calls. If you have signed into your MI account, you can also back up all these call logs. Next we have increasing ringtone volume. Once you enable this feature, every time you get a call, ringtone volume starts with low volume and gradually increases. Next we have flash when ringing. Once you enable this feature, every time you get a call, your flashlight, that's the rear flash, flickers. Next we have mute first ring from unknown numbers. Now once you enable this feature, every time you get a call from any unknown number, First ring, that's probably 2 to 3 seconds, will be silent, and after that, you will hear the ringtone. Next, this phone has a super handy feature to identify unknown numbers. Just like Truecaller, Xiaomi collects information from various sources to identify spam and scam calls. It isn't as effective as Truecaller, but it does work. Now going on next, we can also change the background app usage. MIUI offers you additional options to tweak individual apps to further improve battery life. You can completely stop applications from running in the background, you can restrict background access, you can restrict background sync and usage, and do stuff like that. It might help, but usually its effects are not that visible. Now going on next, we have wireless display. Now using this feature, you can cast the screen of your phone to any television with Mirrorcast or to a Chromecast. This feature works really well with MI TVs. Next we have local backup. In backup and reset settings, we have the option to backup everything on your phone, along with user data. This is really handy when you have to reset your phone and quickly take a backup of your apps. Now when you reset your phone, all this data will be deleted. So once you are done with the backup, copy it to your PC or a pen drive and transfer it back to your phone once you are done resetting your phone. Now going on next, we have some features to improve the audio experience on headset. Now using this particular page, you can select the type of headset you are using. If you are already using a Xiaomi headset, you can further tune your phone to give you best results for that particular headset. You also get the equalizer settings to tweak the audio further according to your preference. Now going on next, we have themes. If you're someone who likes to tweak the look and feel of your phone, then Xiaomi phones or MIUI itself is great for that. You have tons of themes, tons of fonts and wallpapers and stuff. You can download it from the themes app and apply them with just a click of a button. Here's a quick preview. Next we have a super handy feature called Scanner. It's more like an application itself. Now this is how it looks like. You can scan a regular QR code and most importantly take pictures of documents. Now no matter which angle you take pictures in, it automatically aligns the page, changes the perspective and crops the image to give you the perfect document. You can also grayscale it and copy the text from the image. Next we have screen recording. Now if you're someone who likes to record the screen of your phone, then on this phone there is a dedicated application called Recorder just to do that. Just open the application and click the record button. You will see a floating button and you can start recording whenever you want by clicking that big red button. Once you're done, you can click the stop button and you can find that recording in your gallery. Next we have a feature called SMS schedule. Now using this feature, we can automatically send an SMS on a specific date at a specific time. This is probably one of the most coolest features of this phone. Well, nowadays most people don't send messages, well especially SMS, but if you're someone who want to automate it, you can do it on this phone. Next we have AUTOSTART permission. No matter how many times you kill any application or close an application, some applications start automatically in the background, say like Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and they end up draining the battery, especially if you don't use those apps a lot. So using this feature, you can restrict those applications from auto-starting in the background. Next we have Pocket Mode. Once you enable this feature, your phone will prevent all accidental touches when your phone is in your pocket. Next we have the option to mirror buttons. Now usually on most phones, especially phones with pure stock Android, it doesn't give you the option to swap the back and menu button. But on this phone, we can do it. Next we have an app lock built into the system. We can set it up with a different password from your lock screen password and obviously lock applications. Now whenever you try to open any locked application, you have to either enter the password or we can use a fingerprint scanner. Now there are many third-party applications which can do the same, but this feature comes inbuilt and it's quite secure. Next we have private SMS. Now for some reason if you want to hide messages from a specific contact, using this feature you can do that. In the default messaging application, you can swipe down until you see the lock to enter the private messages space. Once again you have to set up a password and it can be different from your lock screen password and app lock. From here you can configure this feature. Next we have folder vault. Now using this feature, we can hide files on your phone. Whether it's a video, photo or any other file, you can hide all those files in the folder vault. To use this feature, open the file manager and swipe down until you see the lock icon. Once again, you have to set up a password and it can be different from any other password you have already set. Now once you're done configuring this feature, you can select any file, go to menu and click hide to hide that file. So guys, those were all the best features. If I missed on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video and definitely check out my video on tips and tricks section Link is in the description. Now, if you're planning to buy this phone, please use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. And if you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.